So today I'm gonna be breaking down what happened on Friday during New York, and I'm also gonna break down what I expect to see for price this week on Euro USD. So let's get right into it. So as always, I always do these breakdowns from scratch. So I literally teach you guys how and what I saw like to analyze the market in that day from my shoes, from my strategy. So let's get right into it. So the first things first, if we're gonna trade here on Friday, you guys know I draw my highs and lows of days if you've seen the previous videos from one previous trading day before. So I'll show you guys what that means right now. If we're trading on Friday, the high and low of day is going to come from Thursday. And the rules for this is that it has to be between Frankfurt and New York session. It cannot be in between the sessions. It has to be in a session, and in between these sessions. Asia session does not count. So keeping that in mind that we're trading Friday, the high and low of day is coming from Thursday. It's going to be this lowest point right here, low of day, and then the highest point right here. I'm going to mark it as high of day right here, high of day. And then check this out. So we're trading on Friday. We have our highs and lows of days marked. You guys can see how specific these areas are, and I'll break that out. I'll break into that right now. But let's mark the previous high and previous low of day. So if we're trading on Friday, it's going to be two previous trading days before. So keep in mind, it comes from Wednesday right here. And same thing, the highest and lowest point between Frankfurt and New York session. So this is going to be the low of day right here. I mean the previous low of day. And then the previous high of day right here. Previous high of day. Okay, perfect. So now they have that drawn, let's go into the higher time frames real quick, and you guys can see how specific these areas are. Like just from marking this right here, look how specific London literally pulled back to this area. There's also order block right here, and then that's where the distribution to the downside came in from. But notice how specific, that's literally where the market pulls back to, or what's it called, or will retrace to, hit that area, and then continue the movement. We'll explain that now though. And then okay, so now let's go to the higher time frames. Let's go to the weekly real quick, so I'll show you guys this. So let me take this out. Okay, so on the weekly real quick, I want you guys to notice this. Notice how we have this weekly supply right here. That is what I've been talking about for like the past 5 weeks before we hit it. And then now that we hit it, notice how we're getting this bearish movement. And this is our supply right here. Notice, why do I say this area? This previous bullish candle is the one that created this movement to the downside. Notice this. Notice how this movement to the downside was created right here. This candle was already used right here, and then this does not count. And then this is not valid because this is where this is more than like this is the area of more probability, and I'll get into that as well now. So you guys can see how, notice price touches this area, and then for the past 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, now we're getting this movement to the downside. And I'm gonna break something down even more specific on the daily that I've been anticipating. And if you guys have seen the videos, you guys know what I'm talking about. This left head and right shoulder being formed. So check this out. I'm gonna get into very specific details of the pattern left head and shoulder right now. So check this out. Write this down. This is definitely something you want to write down. So check this out. We have this left head, and then this right shoulder is gonna come right here. Check this out. It's gonna be this previous bullish candle that's giving us this movement to the downside. Notice left head, and then the right shoulder should come in somewhere around here. That's what I'm anticipating, and that's what I've been saying. Notice how we also had this area of demand right here. They give us this push to the upside into the weekly supply. Notice left head and then right shoulder right here. Same thing again. The definition of the left head and right shoulder, people think it's just random points. It's not random points. The right shoulder is what's going to come in between the previous candle of the movement. Notice if it's a bullish movement, the right shoulder is coming to the last previous bearish candle, and then if it's a bearish movement, the right shoulder is going to be formed in the bullish candle. So just keep that in mind. But I definitely do think price is just respecting this area to come here and then give us to continue the movement to the downside from this right shoulder. That's what I'm anticipating. So let's get right into it for Friday's traders. So just keeping in mind that we have this major area of demand right here. So let's go into the lower time frames. Okay, so also let me draw this right here because I know we have a supply here on H4. So notice this. Notice we have this weekly supply. Daily right shoulder should come in somewhere here, but we had this supply that price was using. Check this out. Notice how price used this supply on H4 right here to take us to this daily target right here, this daily demand zone. So I'm gonna break this down even more right now because I want you guys to pick up on this left head and right shoulder very good. So let's go 10-15 real quick. So check this out. Notice this. So this is what I'm working with when pretty much, let me just reverse replay. We can replay here. So this is pretty much what I see on the screen when I come to sit down and analyze my market. I see that we just broke through past the daily zone. And then I also see that Asia created this supply right here. Notice what I just told you guys, the rules for left head and right shoulder, or the supplies and demand. It's the previous candle before the distribution. Notice how Asia creates the supply. Let me try right here specifically. You can see how we in confluence with this previous low of day and the low of day. Notice how anyone who was selling before got stopped out for sure, and then price touches these specific areas, and then that's where the movement comes in. So it's not a coincidence. I promise you guys, I'm teaching you guys sauce right here. So just keeping all this in mind, let's check this out. I told you guys that I was anticipating probably to take a sell from this area. I did not take a sell from this area because on M1 I did not get an M confirmation. So we'll just mark this like this. I'm not gonna lie, I was anticipating price on Friday to just pull back somewhere here and then break these lows, but this is the daily target. So let's see. I want you guys to notice this. What do I always tell you guys? The left hand head shoulder is going to be something like this left. Notice how we have this head breaking through, and then the right shoulder, what I'm anticipating, I'll go over now. But notice how price broke past this zone on M1. Let me go on M1 and I'll show you why I didn't take a sell here. I did take a sell, and I'll go over where I took a sell and why I took a sell now. But let's go over why I didn't take a sell here. So notice how this is the M15 supply. Notice how when the price touches it, it does not give me an M1 confirmation. Price just breaks past through it right here. So this right here, I did not take the sell, and I'll show you where I did take the sell now. So let's go to continue M1 and fast forward. So check this out. So as soon as price touches this low of day right here, notice this. Price touches this low of day right here, and then I'm anticipating price to continue going to the downside. So notice how as soon as we touch this low of day, is very specific. We get this left head, right shoulder pretty much again, and then I draw this supply right here. Oh crap, it's fast forwarding. Well, I took a sell right here, literally. Let me pause it before it continues. I took a sell literally right here. So my trade looks something like this. Like that. Like that, 1 to 2. This is what I posted on Friday. I even posted it for you guys. And then check this out. And then this honestly would have been like a first target. Keeping in mind that we broke these highs coming from here, this M15 supply. Notice how price forms this demand right here as soon as New York opens. And literally, you can't make this shit up again. Notice pretty much the left, the head, and then the right shoulder is going to be somewhere here. So let's just see what price is. So right here, I entered right here. And then I showed you guys that I went break even somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, I posted that I was break even. I was pretty much up. Let's see. I think it was a little bit more like a 1 to 4. Yeah, notice price gave me almost like a 1, almost a 1 to 2. My take profit was specifically right here. And then notice this price. I think right here, price missed my take profit. So I got taken out of break even, which is fine. We'll come back on next week. But the point of this is for you guys to see what a valid entry confirmation on M1 is. Notice we broke. This is not a valid entry confirmation. So it was an M15 supply right here. This one right here. So pick up on this sauce, guys. I'm literally dropping sauce for you guys right now. Notice. This was the M15 supply, but no M1 confirmation. Price literally broke right past it. So I did not take the sell that I was anticipating here. I did take the sell here, though. Look how clean this entry is, and look how the trade almost gave me. So 1 to 2. It literally didn't touch my take profit by a little bit, but it's fine. But notice, this is an entry confirmation. If it would have done this, it would have pretty much touched it and then create a supply on M1 after touching that area. Notice how the entry was perfect. And then price literally gave us like literally almost a 1 to 8, so I can't complain. I was literally break even. Honestly, I should have just secured profits right here, but that's fine. Like I said, we'll come back this week. So check this out, guys. Let's take out this fast forward and let's see what we can anticipate for this week. So notice how price broke past this area after after touching this right here, this demand zone that I mentioned to you guys. Right there. So this is literally how you truly draw supply and demand, what I just told you guys right now. So just keep that in mind, guys, and back test it and you guys will see it. So price broke past the supply right here, past the supply, and then notice that this was a nice little sell trade right here, so I'll take that. But notice how the actual movement for the entry came in right here where I told you guys, and then notice how our price is pulling back to the upside. So let's see what we're actually working with. I'm gonna delete everything right now and leave my charts like for how I'm gonna trade tomorrow, so you guys can see how because you guys already saw it, but you guys can see what I expect for this week. So let's delete this. Okay, let me delete the previous high and previous low of day, because now we're going to be trading on Monday. So the previous high and previous low of day is going to be coming from Thursday. So we delete this, and then now check this out, guys. The high of day becomes the previous high of day, like this, and then the same thing, the low of day becomes the previous low of day right here. Previous low of day. But notice how, check this out, guys, how I told you guys, the supplies and demand zones are, when they're confluence with the highs and lows of days, very powerful, very specific. So now our high and low of day is going to be coming from Friday's highest point right here, and I do this on M5, guys, by the way. It's the most specific time frame. So previous high of day, previous right here, lowest point, previous, no, this is low of day right here. Still early, and this is high of day since we're trading. My bad. High of day. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, we're gonna be trading on Monday. The high and low of day is gonna be coming from Friday, and the previous high and low of day is gonna be coming from Thursday. Excuse me. So check this out, guys. This is what I expect for price this week. So like I told you guys, notice how price used this area on M1, and then that's literally where the movement came in from. But now we're gonna delete this because that is old. So this is what I anticipate for this week. Let's go to the daily time frame. This is more than likely what we're going to see happen. Oh no, actually let's go to M4, H4. This is a cleaner time frame for you guys to see. So just looking at H4 from this right here, I'm gonna break this down as simple as possible. Notice how we had the supply right here that gave us this movement to this daily target right here. So now you guys can see it looks like we have equal highs right here, and this H4 supply, I'm gonna try not to roast anyone, but even me back then, I would have thought like, oh, this is a perfect supply right here. No, whenever you guys see equal highs, just know that's gonna get taken out. So this is gonna get taken out, and there's nothing stopping price right here. We also have this void right here, so more than likely we're gonna see price pull back from this daily demand zone right here. Notice as soon as we literally just wick into it, notice how we're getting this pullback to the upside. So it's very likely we're gonna see price probably do something like this, guys. Maybe something like this, and then pull back, giving us the right shoulder right here on this previous low of day. Notice it'll be like left head and then the right shoulder right here, somewhere like right here, and then a movement to continue right here to this area of supply on the daily. Keep in mind, guys, on the higher time frame, like the weekly and the daily, we are now in a bearish movement, but we're having a pullback on a lower time frame to continue to the downside. So just keep that in mind. This is more than likely what I anticipate for this week, and this is more than likely what we're going to see happen. So just keep that in mind. Notice we have this weekly supply, the right shoulder on the daily. We're having the pullback to give us the right shoulder from this daily demand zone. Super simple. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one, and I hope you guys were able to learn something. So drop a comment, like, subscribe. See you guys.